Okay, so to keep the ball rolling, allow me to introduce our second speaker. With over 20 years in the education or edtech industry, predominantly higher education, our esteemed speaker has worked in various international sales and marketing roles for large publishers including Pearson, McGraw-Hill, and Macmillan. More recently, his focus has been on building strategic partnerships with educational institutions, and now, specifically with existing and prospective Moodle certified partners and service providers in APAC and Canada. So committed to open source and education for all, he is delighted to work with Nephila Web Technology, a Moodle premier partner, and looks forward to supporting and contributing to digital transformation in education at Mood PH23. Hailing from North London, he has lived and worked in Paris, London, Cambridge, and Sydney. For the last 4 years, he has been based in Singapore, where he lives with his wife and 3 children. Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver a talk on the rise of Nephila as a Moodle Premium Partner, a round of applause please for the APAC Channel Manager of Moodle Headquarters, Mr. Max Espley.
Hello everybody. Firstly, thank you very much for having me here today. It's fantastic to be here. I'm relatively new to Moodle. I've worked here for the last 10 months, and I'm really excited that we can have meetings face to face. I appreciate we've had some difficult times over the last few years doing things online, but it's absolutely wonderful to be here today and to get the opportunity to meet so many of you. In this presentation, I really want to talk about the program of partnerships, the partnership program. I guess with particular attention to where our partner program sits within the Moodle ecosystem. And of course, I really want to talk about Nephila and the many successes that they've had as Moodle partners. So, forgive me, this is a bit of a shameless plug for Nephila, but there's some great things to talk about, and I really want to highlight them here today. There we go. So this is me. I'm the Moodle APAC Channel Manager. Sorry, I'm a little bit taller. I'm the Moodle APAC Channel Manager, as you can see from here. As I said, I've been involved in Moodle for 10 months, based in Singapore. And really, I'm responsible for implementing and managing Moodle's partner program in my specific region. My specific region is APAC and Canada. Rather, a bit of an unusual combination there to have APAC and Canada, but they actually sit quite nicely together in terms of the partner management. I look after 15 partners in this region. I'm part of a global team of 8. There's 8 of us in total in the partner management team. We have 2 channel managers in EMEA, that's Europe, Middle East and Africa, and 1 in LATAM. And in total, we look after 71 partners. So yeah, talking about sort of the Moodle ecosystem and where do partners actually sit here? Well, this again is probably going to sound like a shameless plug for our LMS, but obviously at the heart of what we do, we've got the Moodle LMS, which is the world's most customizable and trusted learning management system, which can empower educators to really improve our world. I know you guys are all really au fait and familiar with the attributes of our LMS, but just to remind you, of course, the open source factor, being able to share and modify code as everybody sees fit, as well as the scalability factor. Moodle can be scaled with ease, as well as its strengths in terms of security. I think these are sort of key things I just want to sneak in there while we're talking about our LMS. So really, the partners kind of sit on the services side of the ecosystem. You'll see. Well, you can hopefully see quite clearly sort of the red box I've created here for the partners. So this is where Nephila and our other partners sit. Our other partners like eLearning Co, who I'm delighted to say are with us today as well, coming from Japan. And these guys, really their aim is to work with organisations, work with customers and clients like yourselves to sort of really sort of meet the specific needs of what you're trying to do with Moodle. Just to go through the rest of the ecosystem, we also have the Moodle Cloud, which is our ready-to-go hosting solution, available as a kind of like subscription model. And then we also have, very importantly, the Moodle Academy. Now here's where you do your training on development, on design, on administration, things like that. Looking at the products, we've got Moodle Workplace, which is our enterprise solution. This is actually only something that premium partners can work on. Premium partners like Nephila, this product is just something that they would work with. And just a little bit of, I'm sure you know a lot about this, but just to give you a bit more information, it's very popular for its multi-tenancy, which basically allows customers to split their training. So you can split your training quite easily by research and development, or sales and marketing, or any kind of areas like that. Finally, I've mentioned Moodlenet here as well. Moodlenet is basically where all of the resources live globally for Moodles, and they can be shared amongst everybody. But one thing actually that's not on this slide, I just want to highlight as well, is Moodle.org, and that's where, of course, you find out information about our great events, our moots. You'll find out about webinars as well, and of course, we've got all of our fora. We've got all of our forums there as well. So what do partners do, importantly? Well, all of our partners are certified education technology companies. They've all got vast experience using Moodle. They've been using Moodle for years. They've worked in sort of they've worked on high quality projects. And I'd say number one for our partners, really, they're solution providers. So I mean, very much sort of on a consultative basis. So it's all about transforming the needs of an organisation or an institution using Moodle to really kind of meet what they are trying to achieve. They also support any organisation that's looking to transition to a learning platform, an online learning platform, or upscale towards that as well. So very much that supportive message I want to get across. And then getting down to the more specifics of what they can do things like customizations, integrations, course design, hosting, support, and training. And don't forget, of course, they're also all certified by our very high standards. And that means they sort of all represent, they all have high standards of customer service and technical capability. And the last thing I want to say about partners is perhaps the most important thing, and it would be easy to sort of not recognise this, and that's the financial contribution that partners like Nephila make. Let's not forget that everything they do, a percentage of the revenue goes straight back into the Moodle project, goes straight back into Moodle. So it's sort of all kind of like it's all fulfilling the needs of how we need to develop Moodle. In addition, of course, the technical developments that partners make, anything they do, any kind of plugin they create, of course it's then available to everybody. So it really is. So they really are giving an awful lot back to the community, the Moodle community, and none more so than Nephila. Just a list here of all of the partners who I look after, all of these 15 partners spread across APAC. As I say, hopefully you can quite clearly see Nephila there. Very nice logo. And then we've got, as I say, we've got eLearning here as well today, eLearning Co from Japan, which is fantastic. Great to see Yasuko here today, and Matsui as well. But I guess one point I want to make about the partners is they do come in all shapes and sizes. So some are particularly large, like Catalyst. Catalyst work across Europe, Asia, New Zealand, and Canada. And then we've also got smaller partners like Nomad, you can see at the bottom, based in India. Now they're a husband and wife team, so there's actually only 2 of them in total, and they look after kind of the more philanthropic projects of Moodle. So there really is a sort of very big mix here, and a very big mix in backgrounds. A lot of people who end up becoming partners obviously have a big education experience, and they bring that to the fore. Some sort of involved in translation. There's a real nice mix as represented by these 15 here. And just to show you where all the partners are based, obviously Nephila in the Philippines, right at the centre there, and we've got 3 in Australia, 3 in Japan, 3 in Canada. I'm counting Canada as APAC here because I could squeeze it on the map. 2 in Taiwan, 2 in India, then 1 in Bangladesh, 1 in Singapore, 1 in Thailand, and 1 in Indonesia. But yeah, I hasten to add, like, not all of them are premium partners. We have a couple of premium partners in Australia, but Nephila are the only premium partner in Southeast Asia. And just a bit about the history of Nephila Web, in case you were not so au fait with this. I found this really interesting myself, just finding out a little bit more about where the name derived from, where Shirley got the name from, and how that came about. But so established in 2011, and the name actually came from a golden spider, which is known for its strong webs and is actually used in fishing nets and textiles. I found this rather fascinating, and again, a shameless plug, but I really love your mission statement splashed on your website. I think this is just beautifully written. Existing to weave solutions for the education sector using open source technology with our core advocacy. Very lovely message there, and a very nice use of the word weave. In addition to Moodle LMS as a flagship product, Nephila Web also look after a school information system known as Nexus. As I said before, they were the first and only certified Moodle partner in the Philippines. This happened in 2016. And in 2018, I think we've talked about it already today, they actually hosted the first Moot, the first Moot in the Philippines, which is fantastic. I think it'd be fair to say sort of real big growth happened during 2020, where there was a 315% increase in clients during the pandemic. And this has led to, in 2022, it might have actually been the end of 2021, apologies if I've just gone over by a few months there, when Nephila became the first premium partner in the Philippines and the first from Southeast Asia. So these are the services that Nephila offers, and I'm sure a lot of you are very well aware of it, but I just want to highlight Nephila's strengths. There's obviously hosting. Hosting is a very big part of everything they do, and they've got their own cloud infrastructure which can host up to 50,000 users. So there's sort of a real mixture of options available there. Integrating with anything and everything. Apologies for this slide, the text is quite small, but you'll see examples like Google and Salesforce. Customization as well. So this is really I guess this is really where you need sort of strong analytics and where you're looking for a very specific report. This is definitely something Nephila can do. Courseware development, really talking about making learning more engaging by the use of videos, using quizzes as well. This is a very strong part. But perhaps the main thing I want to mention is actually consultancy, which I'm going to give a few examples in a minute, and I hope you'll agree with me that this comes forth, this is evoked as a real strength of Nephila. This is something that sort of is a real strong and excellent reason to work with them. They've got a very robust system in place, strong on evaluation, strong on planning for what their customers need, looking very carefully at the infrastructure required for a specific customer, thorough testing and deployment. Implementation, of course, I mentioned that here too. And just a few more things to mention in terms of their services, their support, which definitely follows best practice, very strong in troubleshooting. I mentioned analytics here, and this kind of goes back to a point already made, but certainly in terms of of creating reports that can have a real impact on education. That's certainly a strength of Nephila, as is training as well. I know Cheryl and the team organise lots of training courses, and they are in fact a facilitator for the Moodle education certification. For any of you that don't know so much about this, this is really for a certification for kind of experts in Moodle, maybe people who've been involved in Moodle for a few more years, and it's less about how to use Moodle, more about the pedagogical aspect. So if that's something you're interested in, of course, please do talk to Nephila or talk to myself, and I'll pass you over to them. Moving on to some of their success stories, and what's really noticeable in the time I've been here looking at some of the great things Nephila have done is it's a really nice mix, mixed audience. I'd just like to start by mentioning the TESDA MOOC. TESDA is a government agency which stands for Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, and they've been a customer of Nephila's since the year 2017. Basically what they do is they offer all Filipino workers MOOCs, free massive open online courses to improve technical education and skills development. And around about 2021 they came really with a challenge that it was necessary. They're experiencing massive growth and they really need more space. More space was required to basically host everything they needed. So in came Nephila, who after multiple testing phases successfully migrated and upgraded everything with big success, accommodating more than 2 million users and 1,000 concurrent users in AWS Cloud. Big transformation for TESDA. It led to a modified look and feel and a customized course structure for each region. And this also kind of led to easier report generation for TESDA. And I know that since then there's probably sort of a lot of ongoing communication, but I know TESDA's also been making use of the branded Moodle app, and there's some bespoke trainings being created by Nephila as well. Another example of a successful migration story, and it was actually great. I know someone from MSU just asked a question, so it's lovely to mention this as well. The Mariano Marcus State University, who had long-term had their Moodle on-prem, but there was a bit of a challenge here really in that the sort of a massive growth in student numbers, as I understand it. Please do correct me if this is incorrect, and more resources were needed on the server and more storage was required. And here Nephila managed to migrate their full VLE from on-premise to AWS Cloud, and this included 3,000 gigabytes of backup files. But astonishingly, they did this in just 2 weeks, which I think shows incredible efficiency and incredible use of time. In terms of the transformation, well now, as a result of this, MSU had an infrastructure of 1,500 concurrent users with 6,000 gigabytes of storage. And I know that since then, you've also upgraded them from 3.9 to 4.0, various plugins, and again, more training, a constant theme here, more management and content training. Another example of migration comes from CBSUA, which is the Central Baikal State University of Agriculture. Again, Nephila was responsible for migrating their virtual learning port to the cloud server. And this sort of was necessary as a result of sort of various user and admin issues. And as I'd understand it, the impact was very big here. There was a sort of really good impact for CBSUA. It followed up with an upgrade from 3.8. They had a new look move theme, and they also got support from maintenance and protection for their whole website domain. A couple of other successes, a couple of other specific examples I wanted to raise were during COVID. During a time when there was obviously quite a lot of pressure on a lot of people to continue education, and I think the work they did with the Philippine Obstetrical and Gynecological Society, POGS, is a really good example. Basically, POGS needed to conduct their RISE exam online during the pandemic, going back to 2021. So enter Nephila, and they sort of identified how to improve the setup and user experience. And they did this during the mock testing. And the solution that they came up with really kind of identified the resources needed for POG. So a server was set up, which was optimized to accommodate over 1,000 concurrent users and taking the exam, and 800 users of concurrent submissions on time at the time. They provided full support here, providing best practice with the pre-exam, and also they were available as proctors on Zoom during the exam. So a real full solution. And I think it's important to mention the innovation here, because this was the first time that the RISE 2021 exam was conducted using the Safe Exam Browser, or SEB. So it was actually a real sort of first. It was a real first, and something that was done with great success. Another success story, again in line with the pandemic period, comes from the Philippine Science High School. And we've actually got a great video coming up shortly, which I'll show you, which can kind of really sort of explains more about the success of what Nephila did here. Explains it much better than me. Obviously, great to hear it from the horse's mouth. But in response to the pandemic, Nephila built this knowledge hub, K-Hub Online, which involves 17 servers in total. I mean, I should add, as you're probably more aware than me, a lot of the audience here today, that the Philippine Science High School is massive, it's huge, it's got 16 campuses. So there was one server required for each of those 16 campuses, and one to act as a repository. So this was something successfully implemented by Nephila. And they also followed this up with continued training and maintenance. And the impact was massive at the time. It meant that teachers could design their own courses online, they could monitor students, and they could provide feedback and grades online during a very, very difficult time. So here's just a few testimonials for you to scan over, but at this point, I believe we've got some videos which it would be great to show. We've got some testimonials from people like the Philippine High School. If we could maybe watch those now. And hopefully this will really kind of substantiate what I said. As I say, you know, I can talk about these great successes, but there's nothing like hearing it from the actual beneficiaries. And I should add, there's loads of success stories to choose from. This is just a handful. So, but actually, guys, if it's easiest, we can come back to this if it's easier to get the videos up later. But please read these testimonials while we're waiting. You know, this is further evidence of the appreciation Nephila's clients have had. And while we're waiting, maybe I'll carry on with the presentation. Here we've got like I wanted to put this slide in just to really kind of emphasise the diversity of clients that Nephila look after. You see a really nice mix here of educational institutions, corporate organisations. There's also healthcare organisations and examination boards, as well as not-for-profit organisations. So I think this really kind of sums up a great diversity of audience that Nephila have helped. I'll tell you what, maybe I'll carry on with the presentation and we'll come back to those videos later. That might be the easiest thing to do. A really nice mix, like I say. Nice mix of customers here. That's me. Here we go. Please sit back and enjoy these videos. Maybe I can dub over the voices, and, you know, I can add a non-biased Moodle spin. Guys, I'm really keen for you to see these because I think these are sort of those videos I talked about there. They're like really the crux of this presentation, the real highlight, and you'll get a really lovely feel of what some of Cheryl's clients have said about Nephila. But in the meantime, I'm just going to carry on with a few more slides and afterwards. So as I say, here we've got this lovely mix of clients. Oh, there we go. These are some lovely photos, which I was going to get to. Yes, brilliant, excellent. Yeah, I want to show you these lovely photos. In the 10 months I've worked with Nephila, I think this just really emphasises how active Nephila are within the community. I wasn't here for the 2018 Moot, but if you look in the bottom left here, we've got a nice photograph there. Moving along there's a lovely photo there of Laurie and Nora, who were actually present at the Japanese Moot back in February this year. So, you know, it's really nice to see sort of the activity Nephila do. You know, they're travelling not just in the Philippines, but sort of actually seeking out and supporting other Moodle events as well. And certainly, when I first met Cheryl and Herschel, it was lovely to work with them at Edutech Asia back in November last year. And you'll see there's sort of several photos here, several sort of happy photos, lots of happy customers they were speaking to there. And that proved to be a really excellent event, an excellent opportunity to sort of meet more people. In terms of community support as well, I think I've talked about the training as well. I think that's huge. That's a huge aspect of what Nephila do. And one thing I haven't mentioned is I know they're also quite active with the Moodle Users Association and producing sort of various webinars. So that's something else they do as well. Sorry. Yes. So why choose Nephila? Well, I think a very important thing to say is they're very committed to open source. They've been hosting Moodle since 2018, and they've even sort of done this during. They've been hosting these Moots. They've even been doing them during the pandemic. They're very strong collaborators. I think the success stories I've mentioned, and I think the quotes you're going to hear, the testimonials you hear, will kind of illustrate this. And they're always customer focused. They're very experienced, as I say, they've got the premium partner status. They've got that diverse audience, K-12 schools, universities, technical schools, non-governmental organisation and corporations. And lest we forget, they're award winners as well. In 2021, they won the BMA Service Provider of the Year. Security is a huge priority for Nephila. They're compliant with the best practices for support and server management, and they're fully compliant with Philippines Data Privacy Act. But one thing that sort of really strikes me as well, and I'm sure there's many people in the audience who testify this as well, is they're big on relationships, and this is reiterated time and time again by some of the testimonials and some of the things you're going to hear in a minute. So much so that sort of a lot of initial business definitely leads to more business. And judging by their survey as well, they've got an awful lot of popularity. The average feedback score of Nephila trainees on the training courses was a very satisfactory 90%. 71.4% of the customers are likely to recommend Nephila's hosting service to others. I've just got one more. Yeah, and I just wanted to end on this one, which just kind of summarises their popularity. Do you agree or disagree that your issue was effectively resolved by Nephila? And a staggering 92.9% said yes. So really, future plans for Nephila. Well, I'm sure Cheryl and the team can tell you more about this, but my understanding is they're sort of really looking to get even more links with schools in K-12, being very, very proactive there. Growing the business for corporate customers, looking at workplace, attending more events, especially HR events, which I think would be great to see. I think it'd be really good to have a bigger Moodle presence at HR events. And they're committed to your feedback. You know, they're committed to customer feedback with 2 surveys a year. In terms of security, I know they're working very hard to complete the ISO 27001 certification, which is the international standard to manage information security. And one thing to look out for, and please do look out for this, is more invitational events. I know this is something they're looking to do. So really, I guess my sort of main message here would be: look, if you're working on your Moodle, you're looking for a solution, please talk to Nephila. You're here, they're here. Let's get together and talk. And I can't endorse them high enough. It's been an absolute pleasure the last 10 months of looking at what they're doing and working with them. And I'm looking forward to some of these exciting future plans. And now, hopefully, I think we've got maybe we can show the videos. No audio. Oh, okay, so apologies guys. Listen, you know, I think hopefully, if that's okay, maybe we can do this sometime later in the week, over the next few days, because it'd be lovely to see these testimonials. I watched them earlier myself, and they're really, really worth a look, I think. So, yeah. Listen, thanks very much. I think that's really all I've got to say. Talked about future plans. Were there any specific questions? Any questions on any of this?
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Max Aspley, for that informative talk. We do appreciate that you highlighted the strengths and feedback about Nephila web technology. So as you've mentioned at this point, the floor is now open for your questions. Yes, sir? Can you please approach the microphone, introduce yourself and your institution?
Hi, good morning. I'm Neil and I'm from education.ph. So I have a question regarding some of the success stories. So I think it's important for me to provide some context first.
Sure.
So we are currently working on an EdTech Solutions project where we deploy Moodle as our learning management system in 21 last mile schools in the Philippines. So we're present in 4 different regions across the country. So because of their situation, which is it is a last mile school, the infrastructure for internet connection is really not present. So they're located really deep in the mountains of these four different regions. So I was wondering if there are success stories that you can share where we have similar execution that Moodle is offline and based on a server in that location, because I think majority of the success stories that you shared are focused on perhaps them having internet connection. Yeah, so maybe can you share some executions, if not in the Philippines, maybe in the Asia Pacific region?
I'm struggling to think of anything specifically, but maybe maybe Cheryl and the team might have a sort of good example there.
Ms. Cheryl will be answering the question, sir.
Yes, thank you for that question. Actually, our solution for that, as we know, here in the Philippines, our internet is not that fast. So other clients of ours are really using the branded mobile app or the Moodle mobile app. So in order for them to deploy their infrastructure, their Moodle learning management system in far-flung areas. And so with Moodle mobile app, you can easily download it. It's free. You can your learners can download courses, and there's notification as well. So, but if you are a partner of Nephila Web Technology, you have the privilege to be included in our premium partner program or the premium BMA, wherein your learners will be able unlimited download of courses and unlimited push notifications. And for the BMA, if you want to get the BMA, you can have the theme customization, wherein the theme will be based on your company. So there's also unlimited push notifications and unlimited course download as well. Thank you.
Okay. If I may have a follow-up question, are there maybe some key learnings or highlights from executing or deploying Moodle in this last mile schools or in far-flung areas? And maybe related to what Max mentioned earlier, are there any future plans in terms of how Moodle will be pushing forward in terms of improving the learning management system with regards to offline use in these far-flung locations?
Yes, so the improvement of Moodle is continuously being, it's ongoing. As you know, there are versions coming up twice a year. There are Moodle versions that are twice a year, so it's being upgraded to new version. And as well as with the Moodle mobile app, so there's upcoming versions as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cheryl. Thank you very much for that question. Yes, sir, you may now proceed to the microphone.
Sorry. Yeah, Marie will also add something.
I did think an interesting development that's happened at Moodle recently is we've progressed with our acquisition of Moodle India. Moodle India was a previous partner located in Hyderabad in India, and we now have a team of 60 developers that are working in that domain, and in that context many of their customers have those same limitations in terms of internet access and limited access to infrastructure. And so we now have a group of 60 people who are really thinking about the development of Moodle and its applications in that context in a way that we've never had before. So it's very much informing the way we think about the platform development moving forward. And we remain committed, particularly to what Ms. Cheryl said around the mobile application. Once you download all your courses, you can turn off internet access and do everything you need to do offline when you're using the mobile application. So we remain committed to maintaining that functionality within the Moodle mobile app moving forward as well. So hopefully that's useful information for your question.
Thank you very much, Ms. Marie, for that answer. Yes, going back to the next question, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, a while ago we have just experienced, no, the internet is not so good. No? And I'm also wondering how could the Nephila could be able to solve this problem, because this is a problem here in the Philippines. Are they pondering also to make, say for example, they have this so-called LAN or local area network for the, instead of relying to the internet or something like that, just to, because yeah, with this disruption, constant disruptions of this internet, it will affect the learning, for the students. So is there any solutions for that?
Again, I think I'll refer you to Nephila directly.
Yes, good morning. I'm Roy Tubantos, the CTO of Nephila. So it depends, sir. We can probably sit down with that and make the solutions, because there are a lot of solutions that you can implement. Like for example, as what Cheryl said a while ago, that we can implement also the mobile app and take advantage of that features.
Yeah.
Or we can do some infrastructure to replicate your Moodle to the local based. So we can have, it is more the infrastructure setup solutions, not rather than.
Yeah, we already are solutions, rather than let the problem go on and on, with the solutions. Thank you.
May I add? Before there were speakers in the Moodlemoot Philippines as well that they've implemented on their local area network with the use of USB or small machines wherein they can access to their network. So there are studies about that as well. But with regards, of course, to internet, what we can probably initially provide for a solution is for the use of the Moodle mobile app. So again, as what Marie mentioned a while ago, even if you are online, your learners are online, they can download the courses and they can still learn, even if there is no internet connection.
All right, thank you very much again, Ms. Cheryl. So I believe we have time for one more question. Yes, sir. Please proceed to the microphone.
And I'm just sorry on that point, because I was just really looking forward to your question. I was just wondering, are there any, what about plans from a government point of view in terms of improving internet connection? Is that something that's being looked at the moment? I mean, without knowing the landscape, is that something that's high on the agenda? I don't know who can answer that.
Do we have anyone in the audience who is from the local government or the national government, or who is privy to the plans of our government? All right.
To be confirmed.
Yes, to be confirmed. The question will be left hanging. But anyway, sir, what is your question, sir?
Yes, thank you. I'm Ricky from UPH. I want to ask a couple of questions related with your role as a partner manager. So the first one is we're mentioning about premium and non-premium partner. So what is the exact difference between those two, premium and non-premium? That's the first question. And the second one, how far Moodle as the product owner to help partner when it comes to some technical issues. For example, we are in the process of upgrading our Moodle to version 4.2, the latest stable one. And we have some difficulties, the partner have some difficulties when it comes to Teams integration, the official Teams integration from Microsoft. I just don't know how far can they ask Moodle for help related with this technical issues. Is that something that maybe you as a partner, is that also something maybe you as a partner manager, is that also your domain? I think those two questions for me. Thank you.
I mean, I think the key, so in answer to your first question, premium partners, yeah, certainly more and more experience, with more years experience in terms of how many projects they've worked on. There's also, you know, there's also sort of a revenue aspect as well. Bringing in more revenue, that's certainly an aspect to it. And there's sort of various sort of other criteria as well that need to be met to do it. And in Nephila's case, you know, down to an awful lot of hard work and an awful lot of business, and sort of just gaining even more and more experience on high-profile projects. With regard to your second question, yes, I think we've had a few conversations here, I believe, outside here, and I think, you know, there is certainly support on offer to help you there, but I guess it's a case of maybe this is something to take sort of offline, maybe something we could discuss sort of outside of, maybe to see where you need to see what we can actually do specifically to help. And because I understand you've been working, hopefully, I think you've been working with Nephila recently on this. You've been having some good conversations, and maybe we can take it from there.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
I have additional answer to question number 1, the difference between a Moodle partner and Moodle partner and a premium partner. So aside from the royalties that we provide to Moodle, which came from our clients here, so they are also contributing to the development and the innovations of Moodle. And we thank you all, our clients.
Yes.
So aside from the royalties, as I mentioned, is that Moodle Premium Partner are authorized to offer the Moodle Workplace. So the Moodle Workplace has a salient feature which is different from the Moodle Core. So some salient features like the certifications, program reports, multi-tenancy. Yes. So if you have, for example, a school with many branches or a company with many branches, and you want a multi-tenant infrastructure, then you can use the Moodle Workplace. And the Moodle Workplace is not open source, it's proprietary. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so please, the one who asked question is from the University of Pelita Harapan from Indonesia. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for the question, and Ms. Cheryl answered that. So at this point, to express our gratitude to our speaker, I would like to call on stage Nephila Web Technologies President and CEO, Ms. Cheryl Galerman, to present the Certificate of Appreciation, which reads, Nephila Web Technology Incorporated presents this Certificate of Appreciation to Mr. Max Eskley in grateful recognition of sharing his invaluable knowledge and experience to the participants of the Moodlemoot Philippines 2023, given this 7th day of July 2023, held at Century Park Hotel, Manila. signed by Ms. Cheryl R. Villarman, President and CEO of Nephila Web Technology Incorporated. Thank you, sir. But before I let you go, sir, I believe the video is now available to be played. So everyone, please direct your attention to the screen for the video prepared by Mr. Max Esper.
This is addressed actually to those who are still looking for a possible partner in their LMS. You know, if you're looking for a partner, you want a partner that are reliable, dependable, and low cost. Low cost doesn't mean cheap. It means they offer you a value-added proposition. And that is the experience that we had with Nephila. They're very, I would say, accommodating to us, especially to our technical requests. They see to it that we are being supported 24/7. So I think having this kind of partner will guarantee that you will be successful in your own journey for your own learning management system.
IMI, or Integrated Microelectronics Company, has been a partner of Nephila Web Technology since 2019. So it's now a 4-year partnership, and we are very much privileged to have IMI as our valued partner and client. Thank you.
Support team are just there, willing to help us in every problem we encounter and suggesting possible improvements on how we can possibly implement seamlessly our virtual learning environment.
Thank you so much, Sir Wilben. So we are very happy that you are happy with Moodle and you are happy with our support service.
Thank you also, Nephila Web.
Moodle has been a game changer for the system. It has opened up new horizons for collaborative and interactive learning, ensuring an interactive education even in challenging times. We are grateful to Nephila Web for their unwavering support in implementing this transformative platform. Nephila Web, our Moodle provider, has been exceptional. Their expertise, responsiveness, and dedication to our success have been instrumental in our Moodle journey. They have been a valuable partner in enabling us to leverage Moodle's capabilities to the fullest. To potential Moodle users, I highly recommend embracing the powerful LMS. It offers flexibility, interactivity, and a wide range of features that can revolutionize the way education is delivered. Partnering with a reputable Moodle provider like Nephila Web ensures a smooth implementation and ongoing support, allowing you to focus on empowering your students and transforming education.
Features of the Testa Online program, the newly customized Testa Online program. This is of course made possible with our partnership with Nephila Web. I say it's partnership because they help us develop this platform, although they are being paid, but because of our stingy budget, Nephila Web partnered with us. We worked with them. We had our staff work with their development staff to set up this a learning management system.
All right, thank you very much for that. Once again, a round of applause, please, for Mr. Max Asprey.